Hey guys, welcome to theawakenedstate.net, and I am Ashley, your host of the Awaken and Manifest Your Best Life podcast and this YouTube channel. I don't know. So, if you haven't noticed, we are now switching the YouTube and the podcast together because I need to make my life easier. So, going forward, this is going to be our new formula. And I promise I'll stop talking about it after this episode. But just so you're aware, we are now merging the YouTube and the podcast together. Why not? Okay, so today I wanted to give you a little bit of like a little ditty and talk about an easy way that you can learn how to manifest and a nice little trick that you can get started with today. Because I know when it comes to starting to learn manifestation, one of the things that trips everybody up is they shoot for the sky and they forget to get the basics. And a lot of that comes back to not understanding how it works and not seeing it work. So what I wanted to do today is kind of give you a fun manifesting game you can learn, you can apply, you can pause this video, go apply it, and come back and share with me in the comments how it went. And most importantly, it works. So I'm excited to share this awesome intention and manifesting trick with you today. So tune in and let's get started. And we are back. Okay, so if you don't know me, I am Ashley from theawakenedstate.net, and I talk on all things mindset, kundalini, energy work, manifestation, and so forth. So if you're tuning in to our podcast / YouTube, welcome. I see we have a lot of new subscribers. I am so grateful. We officially reached over 1,000 subscribers. And we are going to talk about how to manifest. So I've been talking a lot about spiritual awakening, and I really just, it's summer here. And one of my favorite things to do in the summer is to take it easy, to play, to have fun, to really kind of, just be in that flowy energy. And one of my favorite things, and I've been thinking about this a lot recently, is I just love that feeling of when you can manifest something. And there's like this renewed sense of magic. There's this renewed sense of like, yeah, life is magical. And I wanted to kind of give that to you today. And I think this is kind of a fun little mini episode where I just want to give you a taste of how, if you've never manifested, you can manifest. So half of the hardest part that so many people get like perplexed on is thinking that they can't manifest. And here's the thing, you can totally manifest. Everyone is manifesting, but maybe they're not doing it consciously. Maybe they don't even realize that they're manifesting. And maybe they've also inherited unconscious programming for how they've been manifesting. So when we think about manifestation as a whole, if you're not familiar with the concept, I invite you to play with a new idea that your word is your wand. Your word is your wand. Now, this is actually a lesson that I included in my book. And I literally flipped to my book and I'm just like, what is the message that needs to come through today? And that was it. Your word is your wand. So how is your word your wand? Well, here's the thing. Our language governs so much about how we show up, take action, our habits, our complaints, all of the above influences the energy we are giving out to the universe. The energy we are giving out to the universe. A lot of the times, this can be emotionally reactive. This can look like complaining and being in excuses. And it can also look a ton of like negative self-talk. So your word is your wand and your focus is your superpower. So I invite you to try on this manifestation trick, and I guess we could call it a hack, and see how it affects your mindset and what you start to attract. So before we dive into the trick, I want to just kind of give you a little bit of a rundown of how this works. So in your mind, you have something called your RAS. This is called your reticular activating system. Your reticular activating system is how you actually use the law of attraction. It is literally proven that this is how the law of attraction actually works. It works neurologically with your RAS. So your RAS is your focus, allows you to attract from your focus, and that focus filters out the information that you give it. So to put this more simply, when we are focused on something, it allows us to stimulate that attraction, and we begin to attract that due to our focus. And so what your RAS does is it allows you to hone your focus kind of like a laser. So if you were to think of it of like, you have a million thoughts a day. You have so much stimulation happening in your entire world. Now, your RAS helps protect you so that you're not constantly stimulated by all of this external stimuli all the time, because it would literally drive you insane. So what your RAS does is it filters out that information. So it's kind of like Google. When you type into Google, trains, Google knows, okay, we're going to focus on trains. Now your RAS functions the same way. So it's like when you focus on, I'm going to meditate every morning, your RAS knows it's time to meditate. And so it will attract meditation to you. So it's like in the same regard, when you think about how you are attracting through your focus. So your focus is how you actually attract in your life. Your focus is literally your superpower, or it can be your destruction if you don't use it to your advantage. So the trick is, I invite you to shift your focus. One of the lessons in my energy management toolkit is shift your focus, switch your vibration, switch your focus. Shift your vibration, switch your focus. I'll get it right eventually. So switch your vibration, switch your focus. Switch your focus, switch your vibration. When you switch your vibration, you start to change the way you're attracting. So most people, when it comes to focusing on manifestation, what they'll do is they'll reach for the stars and try to immediately go polar against their own reality and start to manifest like $1 million or a dream vacation home or something really big and huge that is so out of reach and induces so much separation in their mind that it feels impossible, so that they immediately give up on, well, obviously it didn't work. I set the intention for the dream house and it didn't show up tomorrow. And so this mentality of where we're kind of reaching so far out there, it doesn't allow us to conceptualize just the basics of how it works. And so one thing I can say from personal experience, you can have, the $1 million or whatever, but you have to get the basics first right, because that will help you cultivate a sense of self-belief that you can manifest. So what's the trick? So when you think about the trick, I want you to consider that your focus is your superpower, your word is your wand, and how you attract is through your focus. And this is due to the observer effect. So I want you to realize that the observer effect is influencing how the law of attraction works. And this will help really a lot going into the exercise. So what is the exercise? The exercise is to pick something that's small that you can manifest. So this is something that I teach a lot in my book, Awaken Your Power to Manifest, is I teach you how to believe in the power of manifestation by learning how to attract your own personal signs and symbols into your reality. So if you aren't familiar with this concept, basically you can pick something really random, really silly, or even just as simple as a free coffee, and you set an intention to manifest that. So what you do is you hone your focus on, I decide to see a purple elephant. Or another weird one would be like, I always see money in random places. That one's a really fun one. Or you could be like, I decide to attract $1. Or I decide to receive 5 yellow cars. And so what you'll do is you're programming your mind to start to change your focus. And then your focus will start to shift that. And so you can pick something really random or really silly, or you can even pick something that means a little bit more to you, such as you can also do this with a particular color. So if you want to learn how the RAS actually works, I invite you the next time you go driving to tell yourself, I choose to see yellow cars. And then watch what your focus does. Your focus will show you yellow cars. Your focus will start attracting those yellow cars. And depending on where you're at on the highway, I mean, at first it might be a little bit weird. At first, maybe nothing happens. But then something will happen. And if you keep saying, I choose to focus on yellow cars, you will start to see yellow cars. Because your focus is filtering out that information and it's reinforcing the belief that you are seeing yellow cars. So if you're deciding to see yellow cars and you're reinforcing the belief of seeing yellow cars, you'll start to see the yellow cars. So this can work for you or against you, exactly. So when it comes to learning a little trick, this is where you can start to use this to your advantage. So I invite you to pick your own silly manifestation. It could be a pink elephant, a giraffe, an owl. It doesn't have to be an animal. It could be $5. It could be $100. It could be a free coffee. It could be anything. So the whole goal is to work on manifesting something small, to give yourself the seed of belief that it's real, because it's totally real. And you'll be incredibly amazed. If you've never done this exercise, you'll be incredibly amazed how fast it can show up when you really get intentional and you do it. And the fun thing about this is you can do this with anything. And so obviously manifesting a butterfly might eventually start to feel a little bit like, okay, whatever. But try something a little bit harder, such as a polka dotted elephant. I don't know why I'm thinking about elephants. Basically, what you want to do is you just want to pick something random and allow yourself to go on the journey of attracting that thing. And I promise you, it will happen because you're focused on it. It's literally a way where you can test yourself to know that manifestation actually works. This is how manifestation actually works. It works with your reticular activating system. Obviously, the law of attraction gurus aren't talking about that, but that's how it actually works. It works with your reticular activating system. So I invite you to go try that out. Come back here and share your results in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.